And from Author Nation, how you doing today? I want to talk about book sales because the hardest part of being an author is actually writing your book until you've published it. And then the hardest part of being an author is promoting your book. It's really tough sometimes, right? And I get it. Book sales can suck, right? So there are a myriad of challenges that you can face when you are working on your book promotion. And I just wanted to talk about some of the hurdles in book promotion so people can think about them and see, like, is that one of the obstacles I'm facing? Because once you know the obstacle you're facing, it can be easier to overcome that obstacle because if you don't know what it is, how can you make a plan to overcome it? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And the first thing is book market saturation. There are some niches where there are just lots and lots and lots of books. And within those niches, sometimes there are a couple of authors that just dominate the market. And it can be really hard for a new author to kind of find their way into that space. I'm not saying it can't be done, but if you're aware of the issue, you can find ways within your niche to be seen in a myriad of already published books. Number two, lack of book marketing. A lot of authors just don't have a budget at all. Their plan is kind of loosey goosey. They don't really understand the foundational pieces of book marketing, and therefore they don't have a coherent plan or a strategy or the resources to promote their book, and that can really stand in the way. And attached to that, when it comes to a lack of book marketing, one of the things that can really stand in author's way is a limited author platform. So one of the first things we do with authors here is we make sure that you have a robust online presence, because it's not just a good idea, it's a crucial idea. So without it, you're not going to be connecting with your target audience, and everything is going to be an uphill battle. You really need that foundational author platform, a place for people to come all the time. So if Facebook goes down and they want something, you're not relying on Facebook. You have a website, you have a mailing list, you have a way to talk to your reader fans and gain more reader fans without relying on outside people to help you with that. Quality of book content. I know that I see in the market, write your book in a day, write your book in 7 days, have your book published in 30 days. Great. If you can do it, that's fabulous. But there is a quality of writing. There is a quality of content that is absolutely essential. If you look at, and I talked about earlier about authors dominating the market, if you look at those books, and especially if you look at the authors who not only dominate now, but who've been dominating that niche for 10, 20 years, you will find that there are elements in their book that are there are commonalities in the book. And I don't mean content, I mean elements, like how they present themselves as authors, how the type of language they use. And so sometimes authors think, I write whatever I write and I throw it out there. And well, yes, that can work. But if you want to be one of those authors that dominate, you want to understand what those elements are that keep people not just reading your book, but keep them reviewing your book and keep them recommending your book to other people, because that is always the best way to market a book, word of mouth. And then there's target audience mismatch. Sometimes when people are writing a book, they don't really think deeply about who they're writing to. And so when the book is published, they can't gain traction because they haven't really considered their audience's needs. And if you haven't considered them, you can't meet them in the book. And if you can't meet your audience's needs in the book, why would they buy it? And so that's something that you want to think about, not after you've published your book, but before you write your book. Who is your audience? What are their needs? And how do you meet them? Book cover design. Slapping together a book cover on Canva sounds like a great idea, but the book cover and that overall presentation of your book is a significant part of attracting readers. And yes, you hear, don't judge a book by its cover, except that's what people do. So you want your cover to look professional, You want your cover to stand out, but also fit in with a genre. So each niche has different expectations of a book cover, and you want to follow that. And yet, you also want it to stand out, and it can take a professional to help you find that balance. Distribution challenges. Putting your book up on Amazon and saying, hey, I have worldwide distribution isn't accurate. Put it up on Amazon, sure, it's available, but that doesn't mean that distribution is happening. It doesn't mean it's getting into the bookstores. It doesn't mean it's getting into the hands of potential readers. So being available on a particular platform isn't the same as having a solid distribution system and channel to get your books into the bookstores, into the hands of readers. And I admit, this is one of the most challenging pieces for self-published authors, because you don't have a whole sales team like the traditional publishers do. And so that's something that, I think self-published authors are still working on, but there are ways, if you're not looking just to get into bookstores, there are other ways to get your book out there, and that's something you might want to consider. And then genre or niche considerations, right? Some genres are flooded, as we talked about earlier, right? There's just so many books in that particular niche, but then there are other niches that don't have a lot of books because the audience is so small, which limits your potential for sales. And so you don't want to invest a huge amount of money publishing a book that is going to have limited sales, because it's a very unique niche, and there are not a lot of people into that particular topic. And so knowing that helps you determine whether you want to publish your book or not. And if you decide to publish your book, it will help you understand how to promote your book, how much to invest in your book. Because if you can get the numbers of people in a small niche, and okay, there are, 10,000 people in this niche, and about half of them might buy my book, then okay, that I can make X dollars, which means I should invest more. Then you get the idea. All right, so successful nonfiction authors address these challenges by investing in their marketing efforts. They build a strong platform, they produce high quality content, they understand their target audience before they write their book, and then they persevere. They have resilience, they are resourceful, and they pay attention to industry trends and key factors for their own long-term success. Yes, book sales can be hard, but with dedication and a strategic effort and an excellent plan, you can build the expertise. You can build the expertise or buy the expertise to overcome the obstacles and sell your books. So what are you going to do right now? I have 3 suggestions. One, grab our book promotion calendar. We have 30 days, 30 ideas to promote your book. You can choose one idea a day and explore how you can implement that idea to help your book sales. We have actionable steps. We have tips that will accompany each day's ideas. And so you can just, and that's important, just break it down. It's one idea a day, 30 minutes a day. People say, oh, I have to invest so much. I have to spend, it's a full-time job. It's like, no, step by step, step by step, and this calendar will help you do that. Seek feedback on your book marketing, right? Take a moment, reach out to readers, reach out to colleagues, talk to professional publishing people, experts, and, get feedback on what you're doing now and what you could be doing. Use their insights to help identify potential areas for improvement, to refine your approach, so that you can improve as you go. And of course, analyze your book sales data. Is your book available on multiple platforms? Remember, I said available, not distribution. Is the book available on different platforms? Has there been any distribution? Has it been in bookstores? What have the sales looked like for each? Is your book being sold on one platform more than it's being sold on another platform? Why? What's happening there? And is your book purchased more in one month over another month? Like, are there certain months of the year where your sales uptick? Pay attention to that. What can you do to even further that more? All right. Good luck with your book sales. Implement these ideas, and remember, step by step, and you will get to where you need to be. You don't have to make it a full-time job.